You played so many years at Crandon Park, and I know you have great memories there. What do you think of the new place?
It's completely different. I don't know where to start. You know, before we were on this little island outside of Miami, and it was windy and everything, and here we are in this massive stadium, and the wind is gone. We have loads of shade instead of sun, so it reminds me very much of the US Open, you know, where we also had the same thing, windy and sunny place. All of a sudden they put the dome on top and it changes. And then, but I think it's really accessible for the people, you know, also from Fort Lauderdale, they come down, and it's, and finally we have space, because it really, I mean, Key Biscayne Crandon Park, it was really, you didn't, I mean, to warm up, you were like jumping up and down, you know, and it was just really tight on space. So having all of a sudden this amazing amount of space, we're not complaining. It's all good.
Well, our Tennis Channel research guys have given us the data on court speeds, and the data is showing that it's a bit quicker. Are you finding that it is from last year to this year?
Maybe a touch. I'm not sure. People were saying it's very, very slow, but I mean, I hit a lot of aces today again, and I did also feel on some of the slices that it does skid a little bit, you know. So I just think it's the humidity, and compared to Indian Wells where the ball flies and bounces, here it just doesn't do that as much. So I think that's why a lot of the players maybe get the feel that it's much, much slower. But look, I always think a little bit quicker is nice, because then the really good shots really do get rewarded, you know.
You are one of the most prolific winners in our sports history. I'm wondering how losing sits with you, and I'm thinking specifically about the final last week at Indian Wells. To team, it was a match where you had the lead. Are you good about flushing losses like that out of your system quickly, or do they linger with you?
No, nowadays I'm able to flush them out quickly. I was the worst at it, I guess, when I was a teenager, when I was younger. I was just so emotional about it, and I mean, especially right after it was all over, you know, you would cry and be like so sad and disappointed. I wasn't the angry person ever, really. So for me, it was just like, it just broke my heart, you know, losing. And nowadays, I feel like, look, I gave it all I had. Team came up with the goods. I maybe didn't. That's it, you know. It's over. We can't go back in time. There's a lot of matches I would like to go back in time and play again, you know, but this one, not so much. I just felt like it just didn't happen, and really well done to Dominic. And even when I was up on the podium already, I felt like, you know what,
it's over by then.
I had a good run in Dubai and Indian Wells.
Well, a dual question. So the young guys, you've continued to hold a lot of them at bay. But of the young guys who are working their way up right now, who has made you take the most notice? And you do play a young guy tomorrow in Daniil Medvedev, so maybe talk a little bit about that.
I must say, I cannot count anybody out. You know, there's really a great, it's a great group. I really enjoy watching them now and also playing against them. And of course, Tsitsipas, you know, has impressed me, you know, by beating me at the Australian Open. I thought he played really tremendous tennis over 4 sets. He brought it every single point, and that was impressive, you know. Seeing Felix, you know, Auger Aliassime doing it the last couple of weeks has been unbelievable. You know, he came to Dubai to train with me in the off season, so I know him quite well, and to see him taking that next step is phenomenal. Daniil Medvedev now, you know, who I play in the next round. I've played him twice last year in a tough match in Shanghai, and then one where he was very tired in Basel. You know, that one I don't count. But that
you don't count because you automatically win Basel every year, so you can't count that, right?
Well, maybe, no. No, but honestly, he was very tired. He finished super late and everything, and he had played a lot of tennis. And then I like the game of Shapovalov. You know, he's a great shot maker. He can take the racket out of anybody's hands, and I think he's a great player. And then there's all the other guys who also have something very special. So I like the next gen. Yeah.
That was a very thorough evaluation of the next generation. Shapovalov just took the first set against Andrei Rublev.
Another guy who's really good. Yeah.
We forgot him. Yep. Everybody's excited about you playing the clay again next month. I feel like that the times I've heard you speak about it, you sound excited about it. Are you?
Yes, I mean, that's why I'm playing. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it anymore. I think that was it was a very interesting conversation I had with the team. I asked them, what do you think about the clay? Should I do it or shouldn't I do it? And they're like, well, if you're happy to play tennis, that's a good thing, because it could be at your age that maybe you're like, I don't want to play clay, or I don't want to play tennis anymore, and you sound different. You actually want to do it. So you should do it if you feel like, you know, the clay excites you. And I must say, you know, missing out on 2 full clay seasons and 3 French Opens now is not something I ever thought I was going to do later on in my career. 3 years ago, I got injured, or my knee was still not doing well. 2 years ago, I was on the clay for a couple of days, and then thought, well, what are we thinking? And the team's like, well, you should really think about it hard and long if you really want to do this. I'm like, okay, that answers the questions. Let's not do it. And then last year, I really wanted to take a break. I just said, like, it's nice these 2-3 months off with the family and being able to train. And for longevity reasons, I thought it was a great thing to do. And then this year, I didn't want to have 3 months off, and I was excited to play the clay again and see if it actually would help me also maybe for Wimbledon and for the rest of the season, and maybe use the clay as, let's see what happens. If something good happens, great, and if it doesn't, well, I still had a good time.
As I recall, the last time you played on clay, you were pretty good on that stuff. It's not like you couldn't.
I used to play okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if the future's still the same. We'll see.
Well, we will see. You don't get a long break here. You're right back at it tomorrow against Medvedev. Roger, thank you very much for coming up. Always great chatting with you.